bullpen, and a whole bunch of names that I don't even fucking know outside of Luis Garcia. Like, Ryan Presley, I only know because he used to be a Twin, but that's about it. So it looks like the Houston Astros are all offense and batting, and maybe one or two starting pitchers. Yeah.
Again, they find a way, make it work.
Well, I
I think
mean,
they'll be a top 5 offense in the league this year.
I mean, after Lance McCullers Jr., the other guys in their starting rotation all have 1 year service time. So, I mean, you don't know. That's a bunch of young guys just coming up, second year in the majors. Who knows what they're going to do? So, they might have that sophomore slump, or they might actually come out and actually do something. So, you never know. Not second in like where we reject them to finish, but second on my list in the AL West is the Oakland Athletics. So the Oakland Athletics, nothing really much of signing. They lose
lose Simeon.
They lose Simeon. They lose Kyle Hendricks.
Liam Hendricks.
Or Liam Hendricks, sorry. Yeah. Liam Hendricks went to the White Sox. Robbie Grossman went to Detroit. Nobody cares. Marcus Simeon went to Toronto. Tommy LaStella went to the Giants. Mike Minor went to the Royals. Mike Fiers stayed with Oakland for one more year. And that's about it. So their projected lineup is in left field, Mark Canha.
Mark Canha.
Ramon Laureano. Matt Chapman, perennial all-star third baseman. Matt Olson.
Perennial all-star power hitting first baseman.
At catcher, Sean Murphy. Mitch Moreland, kind of journeyman DH.
First base.
Yeah,
type.
they got him at DH. Second base, Jed Laurie, but he's on the non-roster. He was a non-roster invitee. They got him starting at second. Steven Piscotty, and then longtime Texas middle infielder Elvis Andrus at shortstop. And then nobody really much mentioning on their bench. No, but their whole rotation, I look at their starting rotation and I go, who the fuck are these guys? Like the janitor in Scrubs in the movie Major Leagues, when he looks at the rotation for the Indians in the movie Major League, and he's like, who the fuck are these guys? Like Chris Bassett.
He's been with them for a while.
4-year service time. Jesus Luzardo.
One of their top prospects, been up with them for a little bit.
Sean Manaea.
Another acquired from Kansas City in a trade, so years ago.
4-year service time. Which
that was back when Kansas City was trading minor leaguers for the World Series run.
They got him in 2015 in a trade from Kansas City.
And who won the World Series in 2015?
Kansas City.
There you
go. Frankie Montas, acquired from the Dodgers in 2016, and Dalton Jeffries. Like, honestly, I look at this list and I go, who the fuck are these guys? I don't even fucking know. Trevor Rosenthal is their big guy, their closer, quote-unquote, in the bullpen. Not really much of a need of a closer anymore. If you're looking at bullpen, you got to look at guys in high percentage fielding or pitching times, like when you got a time where they don't want somebody to score no matter what inning. That's when you call up your best pitchers. Jake Diekman is another guy they got from Kansas City. Sergio Romo played for the Twins last year, kind of trying to prove that he can still play. Has that kind of nasty slider, cutting fastball going on with him, and that's basically it for their bullpen. Right now, Mike Fiers is out. He's on their injured list, so who knows when he'll even come back. But Mike Fiers, by the way, he was the one that broke that whole Astros cheating. I was on the team and they were cheating bullshit.
And didn't speak up here because he was benefiting from it.
Yep, got a World Series
and
ring out of it.
Because he snitched, he gets a pass, I guess, from all of our ridicule.
Yep. Well, fuck him.
When we dump on Justin Verlander, Dallas Keuchel, who had nothing to do with it.
So now we're going over to the Seattle Mariners. Seattle Mariners, honestly, I can't
This is a team that, well, they could be exciting because a lot of their top prospects will be coming up. Last year, Kyle Lewis, Rookie of the Year, will be their center fielder. Evan White, their first baseman, one of their top prospects, and then their two top prospects, Rodriguez and Kleinick, both outfielders, will be up eventually. So, if not at the start of the season.
So I look at their
depending how good they did in spring training, because we all know the Mariners of all teams are going to have issues if they're ready and not calling them up right away.
Yep, especially since their former was a president of baseball operations.
No, he was just like a team. He was like the equivalent of our Dave St. Peter.
Yeah,
in Minnesota. So like team president, CEO.
He got drunk and went on some fucking Rotary Club meet and greet on Zoom, and he was talking about, oh yeah, we're not going to call these people up because
they tried to offer, because they've offered this Evan White guy, the first baseman I mentioned, hadn't played a day above Double-A. They offered him a 6-year deal. He took it.
Oh yeah,
and they were trying to do the same thing with Kleinick, their top prospect, best hitting prospect probably in baseball.
His overall rank,
and
is
they kind
of
well, he's one of the best hitters. He didn't take it here, and they kind of said, well, if you don't take it, we'll manipulate your service time so we can get a 7th year out of you.
Yeah.
Something that is known that teams do, but it finally kind of became known.
He started talking to some bunch of rich white guys on his Zoom on some Rotary Club, and for some reason decided telling them all about how he purposely keeps these guys in the minors.
Well, what all came out was Chris Bryant back in 2015, where in spring training he had above 400, 9 home runs and 40 at-bats, and the Cubs optioned him down to start the season, and then all the sports writers like the Ken Rosenthal said, well, this could be the reason why, and they mentioned if he's down for 2 weeks, the Cubs can retain a 7th year of service time on him.
And that's what happened. And he lost his service time.
He tried to appeal this and didn't win. So
what they got is honestly none of their free agent signings are worth it because they're all
they are probably deals. Going to finish last in this division.
Mitch Haniger, they got projected starting in right field. Mm-hmm. Dylan Moore at second base.
Haniger could get traded by the time this year starts.
Kyle Lewis starting in center field. Another guy I can feel like can get traded.
Oh, Lewis won't get traded.
No, this guy right here, I feel like can get traded by trade deadline time. Is their third baseman Kyle Seager.
If anybody wants that contract, but
well, it's
it should be expiring, but still.
Eric's dying over there. Their DH Ty France, never heard of him. Their catcher Tom Murphy. Their left fielder Tom Trammell, never heard of him. First baseman Evan White.
Is it Tom or Taylor Trammell?
Trammell.
Okay, I've heard a guy who has kind of been. He's been shopped around a lot, but he's, a decent prospect.
He's ranked 4th in our organization.
Unfortunately, there's 2 other outfielders above him.
And then Evan White is their projected first baseman, as we talked about. And then J.P. Crawford is their projected shortstop. And, their starting rotation, I'm like, who?
Yeah, Marco Gonzalez is the ace of this staff by default.
Yeah, so they got Marcos Gonzalez as their starting pitcher 1, James Paxton by 2.
He's back with them, yep.
And then Chris Flexen, Justice Sheffield. Yeah,
well, he's a guy who's been a top prospect in the Yankees organization and was sent over
in 2018.
Yep.
And then UC
I think in the James Paxton deal, so
UC Kikuchi?
Oh, he's at Yusei Kikuchi. Yep.
Yeah. Free agent signing out of Japan.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago.
2019. And then Justin Dunn from the Mets in 2018.
A part of the Cano and Edwin Diaz deal.
And then their bullpen, I'm looking at this and I'm like, who? Like, honestly.
Well, again, we don't have to spend too much time on anybody.
They're like,
you know.
they're either less than a year service time or they're
Right.
journeyman guys that were drafted by one team, and I see like 6 other teams that they played for in like 6 years. Like, fuck. The Mariners, don't worry about the fucking Mariners.
They will most likely finish last unless you're James, and he will pick them to win it.
Yep. All right, Texas Rangers, I think, will be battling the Mariners for last.
This could be a fun competition at the bottom.
Yeah, they're going to be both teams will be pushing 100 losses this year, go 62-100. So, I mean, you look at their fucking their
Just look at the rotation. I think
their free agent losses. The biggest one is Corey Kluber, 1
Right.
year, $11 million.
Well, not to forget about that. Even you trade away one of your franchise mainstays on Elvis Andrus, and you trade away your best pitcher in Lance Lynn.
Yeah, Elvis Andrus was what?
Oakland.
Yeah, just you traded him into Division II Oakland, and now he's projected a bad ninth, kind of second leadoff hitter. But the only one that we care about from Texas was Andrew Romine. He's now a shortstop, second baseman, middle infielder for the Twins on a minor league contract. Won't crack the 26-man roster. Don't think he'll be on the 40-man roster. So, who knows? Yeah. They lose Chris Davis. Or no, they get Chris Davis.
Yeah, they get Chris Davis from Oakland.
Yeah, from the Athletics. And that's about it. They lose Corey Kluber. Lance Lynn fucked off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to spend. Just saying, we'll pass through Texas right here now. So they got a nice looking stadium. We saw it a lot last year. Yeah.
Yeah, the Dodgers won the World Series in that stadium.
They will allow 100% capacity too. So.
Yeah. We'll see if it actually happens.
We'll see how long that lasts. So
we'll run through their projected starting line and their projected starting five.
I wouldn't even. So
Isaiah Kanar Falafa.
He's a catcher, isn't he?
Shortstop.
Oh, okay.
Drafted 4th round in 2013.
I don't need to know about their backstories, jackass. So.
David Dahl is their projected left
from
fielder.
the Rockies, yep.
From last year. Joey Gallo, the guy can hit it a mile.
If he hits it.
Yeah, and then he can also throw it a mile over the catcher's head while throwing from right field.
He is Uncle Rico. He can throw that ball over a mountain.
Yeah. Rogdan Odor, the guy that punched Jose Bautista right in the face, and Old Spice was
heck of a right cross. I'll say that. So.
Old Spice said that he needed some Odor body blocking wash for that punch. Odor fucking punched him right in the fucking face. It was great. Nick Solak playing second base. Who the fuck are you? Nate Lowe playing first base. Who the fuck are you?
I believe he is from Tampa, but.
Yeah, from the Tampa Bay Rays in 2020. Look at fucking Brian. You cannot get past it with this shit, Eric.
Yeah, I
know. You cannot.
I'm over here thinking they're like you're naming off a minor league team, and
the dude's got 0.14 service time, and fucking Brian can name who he came from and
what trade.
Yeah, what the fuck.
I don't remember the trade, but
you knew exactly where he came from.
Well, because because Nate Lowe was on the team, and it was Brandon Lau was also on that team, spelled the same, and they talked about it. Spelled this last name, spelled the same, pronounced differently. I don't know why the fuck that happens, but
okay, Jenny. So at catcher is Jose Trevino. Who the fuck knows who that is? Brian's raising his hand because he knows who he is.
Oh
Fuck! What round was he drafted in, Brian? And what year?
I don't want to say.
It was
by. Knows it.
Come on, say it.
No, I don't know it. Actually, I don't.
It was drafted by Texas, 6th round in 2014.
I was actually gonna guess 5th.
Ronald Guzman is their DH. You know a team is fucked when their DH is projected to bat 8th. That's when you know your team is.
It sounds
fucked.
like the Twins back in from 2012 to 2016.
Yeah, the fucking
Heck, even in some of those
years.
even in some of our glory years, they're in the middle of the odds.
the fucking the Trevor Plouffe,
where we were platooning Rondell White and Jason Kubel.
the Trevor Plouffe, the Brian Dozier, the Danny Valencia days. Yeah,
Some lean years there.
Leody Traveris is their center fielder, batting ninth. I feel like if you're a center fielder, you should not be batting ninth. All right, so here's
Well, again, if you were to ever have a glove first